extremely privileged to be with him here in Dharamshala at his monastery, a home away for home, not just for His Holiness, but for the Tibetan people in exile for decades now. And as we look back and ahead at his life and time, we also have today with us in our special audience, not just his followers, but also people who just visit, who come to visit Dharamshala, which has become an internationally recognized name because of His Holiness, and of course tourists and foreigners and followers who come from all across the globe. And like I said, it is really our privilege to be with you this morning, Your Holiness. You know, most of us mere mortals, when we approach our birthday, sometimes we feel happy, but sometimes we feel a sense of fear that life is slipping by, we're getting old. But you seem perennially young. How do you manage to stay so young-hearted?
I think sufficient sleep. And then, as a Buddhist monk, no dinner, but very heavy breakfast and lunch, so sufficient food. I think for physical, these are important. Then another, I think, factor. Nowadays, according to latest scientific finding, the healthy mind, very important for healthy body. So, I think in my own case, comparatively, I think my mental state, quite peaceful. Whenever I heard or face some problem, firstly, I always look from wider way, or more holistic way. That also very helpful to reduce mental anxiety.
Many people describe you as a twinkly-eyed, always as a there's a twinkle in your eyes. You're always laughing. You make us laugh. You make everybody who meets you feel happier, calmer. Do you always really internally feel as positive as you appear? Or do you feel the need to appear more positive than you feel for the sake of the millions who follow you everywhere?
I always look, human being, from president or king or prime minister up to beggar, in my mind, in my eye, same. So whenever I met with people, I always look at them as just another human being. Basically, our brothers, sisters. So that also, you see, creates more, peace in mind. This is not so, that level of mind, not always, occasionally, sometimes I burst.
You get angry?
Oh, yes, yes.
You get angry?
Oh, yes. If you ask some silly question.
Oh, no.
Repeatedly, then I may lose my temper.
Now I'm scared.
Actually, it happened in one time in America. One New York Times columnist, you see, one lady, she asked me, of course, some other questions. And then she asked me what I want, you see, my sort of legacy about name in future. Then I told her, I'm Buddhist practitioner. Should not think about my own name like that. I answer. Then again, a few other sort of discussion. Then again she asked me that, same question. And I answer same way. Then after a few moments, again she asked that. Then I lost my temper.
This is a lesson for me to ask only once.
Good.
But when you get angry, do you express it? Because, you know, in urban modern life, a lot of us get angry very quickly. You know, we live high-stress lives, we have short tempers. When you get angry, how do you control it? Because, you know, you're Buddhist, you're a spiritual leader.
You see, those angry or irritation, you see, due to some small mistakes, some people, then I just express, then finished, nothing. Then sometimes it's more serious sort of anger. Then sometimes I try to separate myself from anger. Then watch what's anger, that emotion. That immediately the strength of the anger diminishes.
Now tell me, you spoke about the brain, the human brain, and you are seen to be somebody who has married a scientific temperament of inquisitiveness with spirituality, which is very rare. And I read somewhere that on your table, you actually have a model of the human brain that you keep assembling and trying to understand. It's very rare for a spiritual leader to believe so much in science.
A scientific way of thinking and their sort of method to investigate what the reality. That's very important, very useful. Since my childhood, I always was with the curiosity. I want to know, well, what's that, what's that? And particularly when I was very young, the British mission in Lhasa, the new person come, they always brought me some toys. So therefore, when I received information, some new officials in the British mission in Lhasa, then I always excited. Oh, now what kind of new toy come?
What was your favorite toy?
Oh, small, some train, railway, small things like that, and some cars like that. In any way, when I received such things, a few moments I play, then always try to know what's the system moving. I always open like that. So, actually many toys, I think, damaged by that way.
But you know, one of the most charming and compelling things about you, Your Holiness, is the fact that you still retain a childlike, if I can use that phrase, a childlike innocence, a childlike humor. Yet you were only 2 years old when you were recognized as the next Dalai Lama. Do you sometimes, speaking as a human being and not as a holy man today, do you look back and feel that your childhood was lost?
No. I think in a way, yes, some extent. But in a way, of course, after 2 years or 3 years, they recognize me as the Dalai Lama reincarnation. But then, still with my parent and my elder brother, younger brother and sister, like that. Then I think about 5 years, I reached Lhasa. Then separate from my mother. In summertime, I think every day is a come. Occasionally, I also went their home. Till I think some few years. Then my tutor, the regent, put some restriction. I should not go my home.
To meet your mother.
Oh, I little bit anger.
Did you
but I obey his sort of instruction. I never then I never went there. But otherwise, sometimes, you see, as a child, during my lesson, not very successful, my mood bad. Then as soon as that lesson finish,
your mood good.
I run away in my mother's place and spend some time there. And then at the beginning, I determined I never return for lesson. But then, about time come, the next afternoon lesson come, then I slowly return.
So actually that sounds less like any other child who's traumatized by their exams.
One way, of course, a little bit isolate from my mother, from my parent. But one way, they always come often.